Welcome to my Managing Machine Learning's project final project. Item number 1, opportunity evaluation. Introduce the problem you have selected as your project topic. Companies spend a great deal of money each year implementing Agile and Scrum practices in the millions to hundreds of millions of dollars. Despite expenditure on initial implementation, usually in the form of hiring consulting firms, and the follow-up in the form of hiring Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, the failure rate of Agile and Scrum is exceedingly high in companies. Teams still struggle with the same issues that they were having prior to the Agile rollout, namely, the large majority of projects come in late and over budget. It becomes very hard to justify expenditure for these Agile roles on a long-term basis, as teams often will not change their practices and continue to have optimistic predictions of every project succeeding on time and on budget. Describe why you consider this to be an attractive opportunity for a machine learning-based solution. Product areas that coordinate multiple teams working on large software products may contain 100 or more people. This requires communication in many ways, including person-to-person, as well as in large groups of various sizes. Every time you add a person to the mix, the number of communication channels increases exponentially. When looking at communication points within a group of 100 people, the number can be in the thousands. There are often roadblocks in many of these channels, leading to the large-scale miscommunication and non-communication in teams. When teams have deliverables and deadlines, this creates delays, costing the company time and money. With this many points of contact, it is very difficult to monitor them all, to determine which channels are effective and efficient, and of course, what is causing the delays in rework. Software development is often unpredictable, adding to these challenges. It is often hard to choose where to start in order to make improvements, and there is resistance to wanting to stop and take the time to improve processes without hard data to justify this. This causes people to lament, "This is just the way it is." Repeatedly saying these things will get better after we pass a certain milestone, but they don't, and very little changes. In addition, when hiring very expensive coaches to help solve problems, it is still difficult to improve the situation. They receive pushback as they are an outsider and are often seen as they don't really understand this team's special situation. As a result, companies are starting to question the effectiveness and business value of these Agile roles. A machine learning model designed to take in voice and text communications from the product area can look for patterns and predict which teams will run into problems due to the ineffectiveness of their communication and coordination and repeating patterns of uncertainties. This will help leadership see if deadlines will be met before they even happen, and build a business case for coaches to come in and help a team who might be struggling. What this machine learning project will do is collect transcripts of Teams meetings, Teams chats or group transcripts, emails, as well as the metrics coming out of the project management tool, such as Jira or Azure DevOps. It will study communication patterns and what is being said, including the facts, tone, sentiments, and people combinations, to see what is most significant to affecting the metrics. It will identify weaknesses in communication and thus predict project issues based on patterns that have happened in the past. All machine learning output will be validated by humans, and improvement coaching can be more directed and effective. From the communication, it can indicate, are the team's estimates in story points accurate? What is the prediction of these features coming in on time? And based on prior data, how can we adjust them to be more accurate? Based on the discussions, based on the past discussion and outcome, can the machine learning predict when the completion date will actually be versus what they project it will be? The better the discussion, the more accurate the prediction. The more accurate the prediction, the more accurate the planning and target date of completion. Item number 2, crisp DM business understanding. Define the problem, answering the questions included in the crisp DM template in Module 2. The target user for this product would be any software development team that wants to have more accurate estimates of their capacity and abilities to meet goals. The program would take past data from teams, continuously input new data as they are completing their sprints, and then help them plan what they can achieve moving forward. It matters because they can more accurately forecast deliverables to stakeholders, improve confidence in their abilities, and push back on unreasonable deadlines from leaders. They can take on more reasonable amount of work, reduce their bugs and rework, and in effect, reduce burnout from overwork. They can also become more efficient and get features out to the customer more quickly, getting feedback faster. Stakeholders can also be a target user. They can see what delivery teams can achieve and better adjust their expectations, roadmaps, and budgets. They can save time and money using accurate data rather than their own opinions and wishful guesses. This will save the company money in building the wrong thing, creating unnecessary bugs and rework due to unreasonable amounts of work on the developers, and turnover due to burnout. The gaps in the current state are that stakeholders have a fire hose of work on the team, which is based on what they want and when they want it. High-level architects may be able to agree to wishful milestones based on best case scenarios, but they do not factor in unplanned issues that always occur, such as environment problems, dependencies, developer turnover or absence, or technology changes and upgrades. Define success, quantifying the expected business impact and stating outcome and output metrics you would select. Business impact: the company saves money by increasing the efficiency of the teams and the improvement in quality of the work coming out of the teams. Customers get their solutions more quickly, and this can increase customer satisfaction, cause repeat business and referrals. Outcome metrics are dollars saved in reducing bugs, rework, turnover. Dollars increase through customer satisfaction. Output metrics, assuming we start with a linear regression, would be RMSE, root mean square error. Identify factors which may be potentially relevant to the solution to your problem. How to make sure the data going in and being tracked in the project management tool is accurate. How to account for poorly estimated and data collected in the past. How to pull the data from the tool, and which features can be entered into the tool versus which ones will be beneficial to use. Number 3, solution validation plan. Briefly describe your solution concept and how it uses machine learning. We need to make sure that the features are selected based on what the tools can collect versus what is important to include. The verbal and written data in a product like Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Teams Chat will monitor issues when they come up and determine how the teams handle these issues, as well as the data collected from the project management tools, such as Jira or Azure DevOps, might be story point estimations of PBIs, the completed versus committed story points, story rollover, completeness of PBI descriptions, target dates, and the actual completion dates of the PBIs. It will pull in this data, anonymizing it as much as possible, especially when it comes to the conversations. And then it will make a prediction as to how accurate the current estimates are. The number that the machine learning model will output will be % confidence. Eventually, the teams can use this accuracy, this % confidence number, to determine if they need coaching to improve. Leaders can also look at this accuracy number to determine if their features will be delivered in alignment with the stated target dates and the current state of the product roadmap. Describe how you will execute a series of iterative experiments to validate the proposed solution concept. We will spend some time and effort training the teams on good data hygiene to give a baseline of what is needed and expected for this machine learning model. They will have to get into the habit of making sure that all data needed is indeed collected. Once we have that, we can look at where the gaps are and decide what to do about those gaps. If there's missing data, should we drop it or forward fill it? We also have to consider what to do with outliers. If a team is brand new with no historical data, we will have a cold start problem. So good practice would be to get 6 sprints worth of data on average, and that will mean it will take a few months for the team to establish a pretty accurate percent confidence number. We will train the same model with different sets of features to know which ones truly influence the accuracy. The user interface that we design will be minimal because all we're really looking to do is communicate the percent confidence number to the team and to leadership. In addition, we also need to make sure that we have best practices in place, including tracking the data lineage and documentation of the versions, including mapping the dependencies. Number 4, machine learning system design. Consider the 3 machine learning system design decisions covered in Module 4. For each, explain your decision and why you've selected that option. The first one is cloud versus edge. Cloud will be good for this project as there will be an internet connection in any company, and low latency is not an issue here. Offline learning versus online learning. We can use offline here for this project as we can train and retrain on a schedule. We don't need these numbers to be updated on demand. The schedule might be every 2 weeks at a specific day and time, or along with the cadence that leadership may look at the data to make this decision. In terms of batch predictions versus online, we're going to use batch for this one, as this does not need to be updated real time. The data can be batched every sprint, which for most companies is 2 weeks. And finally, number 5, potential risks in production. Do you foresee possible model issues which might arise with your proposed model in production? Training skew might be a problem. Depending on the quality of the data the model was trained on, this may cause skew to happen. It is possible that the team had really clean data going to the project management tool, and they just got sloppy with it for whatever reason. Turnover, they got overwhelmed with work. There could be a number of factors. Or the teams decided to clean up the quality of their entries due to a company-wide initiative. So for those that have a lot of established data, all of a sudden they start cleaning up this data within their tools, and that will obviously be reflected in the data. And another potential risk would be data drift. If the company decides to change the tools they are using and the tools measure different attributes, if they decide one of the features is a violation of privacy, such as using transcripts of calls, and they decide to eliminate it in the pipeline, that will change the output of the model, especially if it was an important feature. Thank you.